That's all good. All right, so we're back again. We're back again for part two today.
Woo!
Luis and I, listen, guys, we have to have some understanding here. From Melbourne to Madrid to you, there's going to be some lag, you know what I mean? And well, in the case of what happened in the previous video, that was my fault. Well, not my fault because I didn't mean it deliberately, but my connection's been playing up. And I was so frustrated because I was really enjoying the previous video. I don't even know what we were discussing last. We were discussing Marcus Gomes. What were we discussing? We were on a roll, man, and then my
Mate,
connection had to ruin it.
I think you were asking me like if I got in contact with him, and I did.
Yeah. So how do you get in contact with him? Do you? He doesn't really use Facebook that much.
Yeah, he's just full on Twitter now. So
Yeah. So
if anyone
do you
wants to
just
follow him, check out Marcus Gomes. He's got like 1,000 followers by now.
yeah? You know what we're doing, Lewis? We're going to get him to share these videos. We're gonna get him. Yeah, the video. See, I just had a quick look when the connection was out, and one of the things, Lewis, well, I just spoke about was I'm thinking of maybe doing, like a podcast between you and I, and where I can then like upload it onto maybe not just YouTube but like SoundCloud and whatnot. And you know, getting Marcus to retweet these videos might get our fanship up, and
No, mate, I
maybe
can.
Melbourne City might follow us.
Okay, yeah. You're going too far ahead now, but I just messaged him since I had messaged him like a few months ago, right? When like first time I just saw a tweet and he was disappointed because he had some trouble with something, right? And he just, I don't know, he was upset about it, and then he told me, I want to like make a living out of this, and then here we are, top 32. He's come over to London. Bit disappointed that I think it's going to be hard for us to meet up because, as not the listeners, they won't know, but I'm going to the UK in less than a week, and it would be nice to catch up with him there. But I'm sure it won't be the last time they will be traveling around the world. I think there was a few years ago. It was over here in Madrid, that final 32. So no, if he has another hectic year like this one, then we'll see him again traveling abroad, representing Australia. And mate, like he was the only player representing your country. I mean, if that doesn't get you,
Yeah.
if it doesn't get you on your nerves, or I just don't know. It's just
On my nerves. What do you mean on my nerves?
no. It's like that doesn't get not on you, but like on Marcus's shoes. I mean, he obviously was nervous. I'm just saying, if you weren't nervous or excited about that, then what would get you? I don't know. Well, it's just hard
Yeah.
to,
No.
it's just hard to express that feeling, dude. It's like, because he's feeling that and we're feeling that, but we're not actually playing. He is. But like I said, when I found out about all of this, it's just hard to believe. Well, imagining his shoes, because it's just so, yeah, so like big in terms of the media attention that he could be getting now with all this. It's got its pros and its cons. I honestly wouldn't mind being, kind of well known. It's just, be humble about it and realize that, you started at a more not known, kind of normal life, and that could change now. But no, I think you're doing good.
Yeah, no, I think Mark is going to get a lot more notoriety, and to certain people that can be a good thing. To some, it can be. But I think in Marcus's case, so it's not like anything controversial. If anything, it's quite unique. The fact that he's A-League's first esports player, the only Australian representative in the London esports games for FIFA. So the latest one. So he's definitely taking strides, and
It's just really
yeah,
hard to
no,
believe. You just keep repeating it to yourself, and it's like, what the hell
well,
is
so
happening?
what did you say? You said he was upset about something, and then he wanted to make FIFA a living. Like, do you know what he was upset about in particular? Was it something to do with FIFA or something else?
No, it was far worse, I think, mate. Because when you travel abroad, you have a coming into the European Union country, right? And you're not from one of them countries. You have kind of more, paperwork in terms of visas and work permits, all this kind of thing. And apparently, last time he missed out on going to a tournament because of that.
Oh, that
And I
sucks.
just, yeah, he just put up a tweet saying he was disappointed, but I think he mentioned it, and I'm like, why would you have trouble with that? And he just, yeah, but he's bounced back from that, and there he is. But it's just, yeah, I look, we've played against him, and
Mm.
I beat him, and
There
I
you
beat
go.
he
There
beat
you
me
go.
more than.
Lewis is going to be Spain's esports player. And you know what? We're going to see Marcus against Luis Andres Marino in
Yeah,
the
you
next
sure.
FIFA esports game.
Now, next podcast, you're gonna put a camera into FIFA TV screen. But no, I'm just saying, like we were saying, he was good, but you just never thought he would make it to that. Like, so I said to him, I remember beating you, but now, like, I would probably have to park like 5 buses to to stop you, because like I just, yeah, I don't think, how many times have I said that it's hard to believe this, but it just is. Time will put us in place, and eventually this will sink in. But for now, it just doesn't. It really doesn't.
It's kind of like winning a grand final, isn't it? Like that feeling and that joy you get. Sometimes it doesn't quite sink in until like a few days later, or can't speak for Marcus personally, but it's a good thing. So, congratulations to him. Um, and I'm sure that even though he didn't do as well as he liked in the latest tournament, it's uphill from here
I
because
think if I was him, I
just
wouldn't
sign.
be. If I was him, I wouldn't be too disappointed, because we saw the group right with the points, and what was that, 8 teams in his group, and so that's a maximum of 21 points you can get, and the top team had 14. So that tells you how
Yeah,
sort of even it is.
yeah. So yeah, because he's a PS4 player, so I'll, like not PS4. I mean, there's a latest. What's the latest PS
Yeah, no, no, it's PS4.
console? Yeah, PS4. Dude, they
We need to
update
we need
these
to
things
catch
like,
up.
dude, I didn't catch up on the Real Madrid Barcelona match, and
Yeah, like, well, because a lot of people didn't know that it was 2 legs. It's been now for, I'd say, 5 years, but I don't mind it. I don't mind that format.
but like it's like a warm up to like the league, isn't it? Like it's a bit more than like a friendly match because you actually get a trophy, but uh how do you get into
Well,
that cup? Do you have to finish in the top two in La Liga?
you win the league, and whoever wins the cup, the domestic cup. So it's between the winners of each of them two.
Oh, okay, yeah, because it's kind of like in similar vein to Real Madrid versus Manchester United because
The
Man
same
U
thing,
won.
same thing, but
Yeah,
like, to you know within one country. Madrid United was whole of Europe.
well, there you go. There you go. So, yeah, no, it's interesting how it works like that. I mean, these soccer players, they have to do so many competitions nowadays. Um, I guess, sometimes you might have to look at, different sponsorships clubs might get in different countries. Arsenal came to Sydney, wasn't it?
Yeah,
This year. Uh, and there's always opportunities to grow.
well, that's the thing. I think
I
people
like.
get, people get tired of maybe too many tournaments, but at the same time, it's more opportunities for smaller clubs to, make some
Real
strides.
Madrid. Real Madrid is not a small club, though.
No, no, I'm saying about uh, putting the opinion out of people who maybe think, too many tournaments and the
Oh,
same
right,
clubs.
yeah.
Yeah. No, well, for Madrid, it's just we're just going through such a good cycle. I mean, and the squad, not just the lineup, the whole squad is honestly, you can replace anyone coming off the bench is like just as good, honestly. But that's a good problem to have as a manager, right? So, no, happy times.
Well, it's a great problem to have. Yeah, definitely. When you have the class of players on your bench, I talked about this before, but Mateo Kovacic, big fan of his. I
Good.
mean,
Good to have.
why are you laughing? What?
No, 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 no. I'm just worried United might hear this and might want to sign him.
Oh, okay. Manchester United, please sign Mateo Kovacic to support Paul Pogba, Ander Herrera, Michael Carrick. Just a bit more liveliness in the midfield, a bit more dribbling, good
Yeah,
passes. I mean, that guy's a talent. I mean, he's the Luka Modric prototype, isn't he? He's from the same country as Modric,
big
and
big factor. Why big factor? I'm telling you this. Why he's playing for us? The fact that Modric is there. I'm telling you,
yeah. I mean,
makes
that'd be
sense.
huge.
Yeah. Well, you can't learn off anyone better of his country and in the world, really. Like Modric is one of the best to ever do it.
Would you say Tony Cruz is better than Luka Modric?
I tell you what, like Kroos always proves me wrong because I don't like where he actually plays on the pitch. Like I always saw him as more attacking, but
Mm.
he's come to Madrid to replace. They did a straight swap between him and Xabi Alonso, and I'm like, you just can't replace Xabi Alonso's long pass. You know that pass from one corner of the pitch to the other.
Mm.
He always use Ramos is trying to replicate it, but Ramos isn't a midfielder; he's a centre back. But look, Tony Kroos keeps proving me wrong. Uh, his passing accuracy is ridiculous. I never questioned that. He's just more defensively, right? But he's just both of them. They work together so well. It's hard to pick one really.
Well, yeah. Even though they play in similar positions, they're different
They're
players. I
completely
mean,
different.
I know that's a little bit of a cliche because it's like Messi, Ronaldo, similar type of positions, but they're different players. I just inevitably because they play for the same team and they're just so important for Real Madrid. And for instance, Tony Cruz is quite slow, um, but what he brings is real composure. He's good with free kicks if he needs to take them. And his passing rate, I mean, was over what 90% or something in against Man U, wasn't it? I think you told me
Yeah,
this.
in the whole season, to be
Oh,
fair,
the
it's
whole
just
season.
ridiculous.
There you go.
No, I mean United as well, but if you look at the whole season last season, it's just ridiculous. Like maturity and because he's not that old. Let's get that right. He's like 20. Well, when he came to Madrid, he was 23, 24. So he's like in his prime, and to show that maturity, because other players in his prime, they might be very skillful, but might make mistakes, make the wrong decisions, and Kroos just always seems to make the right pass. And no, it's just he proves me wrong,
No,
like I
I mean
said.
he's just a real great player. Came from Bayern Munich originally to Real Madrid. Gutsy move at the time. Because at the time I think Barcelona was kind of on a real high. Um, Obviously going to a club of Real Madrid's stature is attractive for anyone. But he left his home country, so he left Germany to go to Real Madrid.
Yeah, that's another. What he could have stayed at Bayern Munich for life, really,
Mm.
and become what a Philip Lahm heroic symbol of the club. I mean, they might still pay him tribute because it's not like he was at Bayern Munich for a couple of years. He was there, I think he all the way up. So yeah, no, but there you go. Real Madrid, just anyone seems to want to play for us.
Yeah, I mean, like I know it's all positive, it's all sunshine and rainbows at the moment at Real Madrid, and a bit jealous as a Man U supporter, but we're coming up. 4-0
No,
win.
I was gonna say like United have signed some pretty serious players this summer.
Do you rate the Matic signing?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think anyone would. It's just from a Chelsea perspective, I honestly don't understand. I think what caused the transfer was the fact that he's turning 30, I think in November, or less than half a year, right? So apparently Chelsea just thought that it was good money for value. So the other way around, because I think it was Matic was 40 million pounds, so that's easily 50 million euros, something like that, and they were just happy to take it. But apparently Antonio Conte isn't. Because when you're a manager, you don't think about the financial stability of a club. You think about your squad, and to lose someone like Matic, like how do you replace him now? Apparently they did sign a young player. Off the top of my head, I can't remember his name, but he's meant to replace Matic. But Conte, he hasn't directly said this to the press, to the media, but it's so obvious. Like players like Matic, you can't replace them that easily. That experience, that composure. Again, like Toni Kroos and Xabi Alonso, them kind of players, they always make the right decisions. If you have to clear the ball, you clear it. If you make a short pass instead of a long pass, you do that. And I mean, they have Kante from Leicester, but they need another. They just need another one because Fabregas is getting old. He's not the player that he used to be defensively. Yeah, I mean, I'm look. Don't get me wrong. Chelsea still have to do everything they have to compete in. I see them a bit short, but we'll see till 2 weeks left of the transfer window. Anything can happen still.
Yeah. Actually, this brought up something. I had a look at some of FIFA 18's new features that they're bringing in, and you mentioned transfers. Quite exciting additions. So they've got a kind of like a 3D animation setup where you can negotiate transfers with the agent, like through the animation. So you can be chatting to the agent, like you have. I'm not sure if you've seen the Journey
Yeah.
FIFA story mode. So similar to that, you can chat with the agent. Maybe soften them up a little bit, talk lovely, talk like you love them, and or drive a hard bargain. So if I was Ed Woodward and I was going to Real Madrid and we want someone good here, we're going to pay top dollar, but listen, no, it's a good addition because I think it brings like a real life perspective to how football is being played now. Like it's a lot about the agents and
And the
developing
players, yeah.
relationships
No,
with them.
it's shifted, as you say. It's gone from because I would have ever had transfers. There's always been there's always been an element of although they got Hoffenheim, so that's not an easy club because I think they are. Yeah, well, they're the fourth best team in the Bundesliga, so it's not to be messed with. But before these games, apparently Coutinho wanted to leave to Barcelona, Uh, I guess you can't fault him for wanting to play for Barcelona, but at the same time, you've just signed a 5-year contract in January. But do you know how big your release clause is? We can't just let you go. You know, if you're Liverpool, you can't just let him go for, I don't know, 60, 70 million. Like you've just signed a 5-year contract. That's so expensive. Your release clause is within Neymar type of range. Like that's what thing is, a lot of players nowadays, they sign contracts. Daniel Rose at Tottenham as well. He's nowhere near as world-class, right, as Coutinho or Marcelo, but whatever. This was another developing story. He also signed a contract not that long ago, and he wanted to leave as well. And it's like, you know, if you sign something, you got to commit to it and face the consequence, face the benefits and the consequences of that.
Yeah, I mean, release clauses. I mean, that's another FIFA edition, actually, like the ability to create clauses in the contracts. It adds another layer of complexity to transfers. And Jurgen Klopp at the moment is bickering a little bit, well, according to speculation, with Coutinho.
Yeah, I think they'll end up keeping him just because you can't sell a player for 67 nowadays. I mean, in terms of the money that's going around, you can't sell him for that money when he's got 5 years on his contract. So if Barcelona were to be interested, supposedly they are interested, but if they were to put up an offer, a serious offer, it would have to be, you know, it would have to, you know, take into account all those years of his contract. Like it's like Alexis Sanchez. If you want to, you know, they're all going for Coutinho. Why not go for Alexis Sanchez? He's got a year left.
Yeah.
He'd be cheap as, honestly, he'd be so cheap right now. And then next year he can go for free. Arsenal are the ones that should be worried about getting money. Arsenal should be worried about getting money and Liverpool about not losing it.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's different clubs' philosophies, aren't there? Like, you know, when they re-signed, well, not re-signed. I'm not sure what the correct terminology is here, but when they further extended,
well.
yeah, Wenger's contract, I think there was a little bit of a shift in the Arsenal trade mentality because before that, they were quite conservative at times to do with trades, and their supporters would be sometimes a little frustrated with that. They get Lacazette, who in the first match was influential, and Arsenal won a thrilling match there.
Bit lucky though, may I say. I watched it; it was incredible.
Yeah, I mean,
But
it was 3-2, wasn't it? And then Giroud and Ramsey.
yeah,
Scored, yeah.
within last 10 minutes of the game. I just find Arsenal a really funny club to root for. You only have to look at Arsenal Fan TV if you haven't seen that. Maybe you have, haven't you?
Sorry, sorry. Could you repeat that?
Arsenal Fan TV. Have you watched any of their videos?
I don't believe I have.
Oh well, it's just too funny. Like it's basically they started off a bit like many YouTube shows and newcomers, but they just interview fans after the games and their opinions, man. They're so, you know, a club isn't going too well, in my opinion, when the fans' opinions constantly change week in, week out. And Arsenal is that type of club. They win a game, everyone's happy. They lose a game the next week, and oh, Wenger should go. This happens in a way because he's been there for so long, man. And I mean, they haven't won that much for the past decade. Yeah, my patience will be running out as well, to be honest.
Yeah. So I guess well, Arsenal have won FA Cups, so we have to give them
Yeah,
that.
no, we do, but it's like whenever people say that, I always bring up the fact that they're not what they used to be, those trophies anymore. It's all about, right now, it's all about the league and the European competitions. Europa League has gained significance because of what Manchester United has achieved. Qualify for the Champions League via the Europa League. But it's all down to the TV rights, man. Like it's just all down to that. They control what people want to see, and what people want to see. What they have gotten the biggest audiences go to the league games and to the Champions League games. That's just a fact. That's where all the money is.
Yeah, Champions League is important to get that constant influx of money, because even if you just advance past the group stage, you get a little bit of money. So,
No, just getting to the group stage now, you get a huge bonus. And the trophies that Arsenal have won, not as much, for a club of that size.
yeah, do you get money in the Champions League for going past the group stage?
You get money just for being there. You get money for passing the group stage. You get money for passing the round of 16. It's just it's where you want to be.
Yeah, it is where you want to be, and I guess Real Madrid has constantly featured in the Champions League and gone deep. So, I mean that's a great credit to their system. Zinedine Zidane's just come in and controlled the fortress there, and Bernabeu is once again a place to be reckoned with, and it has for a few years now. It's just been, I mean, Real Madrid is really, what a team. Like, they've seriously got like every position down pat. You know what I mean? Like, for Manchester City to sign Danilo at right back, like a real talent from Brazil. They don't need Danilo because they've got Carvajal, Real Madrid, and you know, Varane is in the wings as well. There's just so many players there, man.
What was it, £50 million? I mean, but yeah, I think I've never seen a squad this well organized, covered in every position, just about keeping all the players happy, except James maybe. But I never thought he had proved that much for Madrid to sign him. Like I saw, he was a young player at Monaco who was doing good, but I'm like, he has to maybe do what Monaco did last season and win League One to the French league for Madrid to be convinced that, okay, this is the guy we should sign. But they opted to wait for the World Cup. Look, he scored some good goals with Colombia, but for me, he was just never worth what he was worth. It was 80 million euros. Never suited our game style, I don't think. And just where do you put him? Because yeah, it's just full of loaded players, and if he's that ambitious to play every game, I think right now, if you come to Madrid, you have to be aware that you're not going to play every game, except maybe one or two players within the squad. The rest, you're gonna have to rotate because there's that much quality.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, I just had an idea. So we're gonna. I'm not sure if we'll get any comments, but so we've been talking about, or I suggested maybe doing like a kind of like a podcast type of idea. I've got the name for the podcast. Do you want to know what it is?
Go ahead.
From Melbourne to Madrid.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's because we're from different countries. Like I was telling Lewis today, like I would love for him to be here, just like good old times, and we could do like a proper podcast setup. But I think with the potential of technology now, the podcast could really work as like a sound recording. So So this is going on straight to YouTube, but I reckon it could really work as a sound recording where, like, even if the graphic is lagging, the sound doesn't deviate as much. So that's something I'm definitely looking to do. If any YouTubers have any tips on how to pull something like that off from one country to the next and doing a recording applicable to any audience in most countries, do let me know. Because yeah,
He's
no, it's
also people.
yeah, go on.
I think he's also aware that he has to come over here at some stage uh, and
Look,
do a podcast, but outside the Bernabeu.
oh
That's
yes,
left on his bucket list.
look, the Bernabeu, we're gonna do it. You know, where would we do it in the Bernabeu? We'll do it with Cristiano Ronaldo. So we'll have Cristiano Ronaldo, Zinedine Zidane, and
No,
you know,
but I think,
we'll have a good chat.
mate, if you come over, you definitely have to do one. Just with the back, with the backdrop of, you would love it. I'm telling
If
you.
if I ever do go to Madrid, we're definitely doing some type of
You have some great backdrops
podcast.
here, mate. Gotta come over and see them.
Yeah. No, it's all good. I mean, with the backdrops, there's all those like things of like whether you need like release form signed and whatnot. But that's just peripheral. Like if you can get permission to film or record there, then it's
No,
okay.
just on the street, there would be no problem. I'm telling you, it's always packed. Honestly, when you go, not just to Bernabeu, but all these big clubs and their stadiums, it's just always press outside doing their thing. Uh, it just adds to the experience of the listeners or whoever's watching, the viewers. Uh, so yeah, can't wait till you come over at some stage.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, we'll see. You know what, Lewis? I've never been overseas in my life.
Yeah, that's why your first stop has to be this one.
It's attractive. It's appealing. How many hours would the flight be?
Like 21 or something.
Oh, look, man. I'm not even used to Queensland, and then that's how many hours. So
That's where you were born, though, mate. What can you do? Them
oh,
Aussies,
look,
mate, always complaining about how isolated they are, and they live in like the best
it's
country in the world.
true though, mate. It's true. We are isolated from everything, but because of technology now, we're able to. I mean, we've done these Google Hangouts for quite a while, but I thought of as a way of advancing it, and not that it's too much of a commitment or anything, but like, um, I could potentially find like a proper podcast platform, and I think it'd work better as like a pure audio because the Google Hangouts are good with the video, but sometimes even when the video graphic is lagging, the sound's actually quite okay, and we have
Mm.
quite good sounds. Like this microphone here was worth about $200. Your microphone sounds just as good as mine. And that was way less than that. So no, I reckon
Mate, now that all the seasons, now that the football leagues are starting, it's definitely a good time to start doing this. World Cup
yeah.
finals, a lot of things coming up.
Yeah, so I've got to do some research, man. I've got to see like how to do it. Like not how to do it because it's definitely possible. Um, we've got the good microphones and all. And I think even though it's a little difficult because we're from different countries, could still pull it off. It'd be unique. It'd be quite unique from doing it from Melbourne to Madrid and recording it live.
Not many people get to do that.
No, so let's. I think you said copyright from Coldplay. If you never try, you'll never know. And maybe this is from Melbourne to Madrid. It's something we need to try. So,
I love it, mate.
not that we haven't tried it before, but I reckon if we expand it to maybe like like SoundCloud or something. The thing is, though, with SoundCloud, like that's why I'm asking other YouTubers if you are watching this, if you have come this far, let me know what you recommend to use as recording software, even if there's money involved. Provided it's not too much. Because this is the thing. This is the thing, man. Like with like iTunes and stuff, I don't think you can upload directly to iTunes. You need to go through like a SoundCloud or something. But yeah, no, it's something I can research. And if all goes to plan, I finish university near the end of this year. So I'll have a little bit more time on my hands. So from Melbourne to Madrid might be a cool endeavor to do. Talk sport, talk Ronaldo, talk Bernabeu, talk anything. You know, everything's there to talk about. But yeah, I think we've covered everything, haven't we, Lewis? We've covered Marcus Gomes to Melbourne City. Anything else of note? All right, so I think the internet is lagging a little bit, but thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoyed the videos.